What is up, guys? It is Cannon with Xtrusion Overland. Behind me here we have a XTR1 bed rack on a Toyota Tacoma. Now you can see that we've already got the molly panels, the slide outs. We've already started building this rack, but the cool thing about our bed racks is you can build them as your needs progress. So today we're going to be installing the access gates. Now this install will be the same across all platforms, whether you have a Toyota, Ford, or Chevy. The access gates make getting to gear in the front of your bed way easier. So we're gonna walk you through the whole process. Let's get started. So step one for this bed rack is gonna be removing the molly plates. You'll need a 3/16 Allen wrench. If you don't have the molly plates, then you can just skip this section. So now that you've got your molly plates removed, we've got just this side brace here. We're gonna remove this and we're gonna mount it to the crossbars. So now that you've got this removed, you may need to loosen your top brace and then your tent mounts just so you can fit this into your crossbars. Now we're gonna take our drop ends and we're gonna drop them into this crossbar. Now that you've got your side brace mounted to your crossbars, we're gonna start assembling the access gate components. So your access gate kit is gonna come with 2 bags. We're gonna start with the XTR1 access gate hardware. Now we have all the components laid out here. We're gonna have our shoulder bolts, nylon washers, regular washers, bolts, drop-ins, and our components here. So now we're gonna put this together. Just watch closely as we assemble this and attach them to a bar. Now that we've got the pivot mounts assembled, we're gonna take the uprights and bolt it in here. You can tighten them up, just make sure there's a little gap that maybe a credit card can fit through. So now that you've got your pivot mount mounted to your upright, you're gonna take the gussets and mount those to the uprights. Now you're gonna take your end cap, put those on your uprights, and then we're gonna mount this to the access gate side brace. So now that we've got it mounted to the new side brace, you're gonna wanna make sure this is roughly 2 inches inset. All right, so now we're gonna take the drop ends, drop them into a crossbar, and that will allow us to mount the access gate on here. So now we're gonna start mounting the struts to the bed rack. This is the trickiest part, but luckily I've got the owner and founder of Xtrusion Overland, Alan, to explain this process.
That's right, guys. So the reason why this is the trickiest part, it's because it depends what you're doing with the access gates. If you're carrying something heavier, if you're carrying something lighter, there's a little bit of adjustments. So we're gonna go through that at the assembly, but the first thing that we're gonna start with is we include the mounting brackets for the nipples. So we're gonna start assembling the nipples on the outside of the bracket, get the nuts all tight, and then we'll go to the next step over at the assembly of the extrusion rack. Yeah, so like Ken mentioned earlier, this is the trickiest part of the install, but we're just gonna grab the nipple and the bracket that we assembled earlier, put it about 3/4 of the height into the upright of the access gate and snug it a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and place the other bracket that we assembled earlier in the bed rack upright. Now, please note that we're placing them in the outer T-slots of both facing each other. All right, so now that we mount our lower bracket in our top bracket, we're going to test how the strut mounts in there and how it feels. So we might have to pull that up a little bit. Now, this is the part that it will need some adjustment, or you might play with it to match your specific needs. The reason why it's so complicated is because we have so many different combinations of heights. So in one video, I cannot necessarily explain to you exactly where it will be mounted, but the principles will be the same. So one of the adjustabilities is the weight. So if you're putting more weight on it, you're gonna wanna have more leverage. So the mounting point goes further down on the upright, where if you need less leverage or less weight, then you mount it towards the top part of the upright. All right guys, so the only step that we have now is mounting back our MOLLE panels. Now sometimes the MOLLE panel set is not enough to make the stop on the upright, so we include these 4-hole plates to put in the back of the upright and make the stop or avoid it from over travel. So the last step will be to put the end caps on the end of the side braces with these plastic clips. If you guys have some issues due to the weight that you're gonna put in here with this bar twisting against this upright, all we gotta do is grab the gussets and offset them so that your full surface is supported.
All right guys, so that is the install for the access gates. If you have any questions, shoot us an email or give us a call and we'll walk you through the whole process. So if you've been on the fence about getting access gates, visit the site and get yours today.